Turn it up.
Q99.7 from the John Foy Strong Arm Studios.
Q99.7.
Olivia Rodrigo, welcome back to Atlanta. We're so excited to have you here at Q99.7 today. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you so much for having me. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for joining us. Okay, so now that Vampire's out, we've been playing it nonstop every hour on the radio. And I just want to know, after 2 years of all of your fans awaiting new music, do you feel relief that it's out there and you're feeling this world reception, or are you still a little angsty because there's so much more of the rollout to come for the album?
Yeah, I mean, a little bit of both. I think it's so nice. I've been, working on these songs for so long and listening to them by myself for so long. And it feels really cathartic to just put it out into the world and, give it to everyone else. It's everyone else's song now. But I'm very eagerly anticipating putting out the rest of the record. I think, I'm just so proud of it, and I can't wait for people to hear it.
Yes. Okay, so I definitely want to talk about the video. Video is super cool. We know that you've worked with Petra Collins before, and I just want to know, can you walk us through the vision? Because I feel like there's some underlying messages there.
Yeah. We really wanted to do a kind of like bait and switch type thing. We wanted to do like a Truman Show-esque, like, oh, we're not in this reality anymore. And so we kind of did that through this concept of an awards show. And at the beginning, I guess maybe no spoilers, but hopefully, I guess you've watched the video, so it's not really a spoiler, but it kind of starts out and you think she's like sitting in this field and it's this really serene, beautiful landscape, and then you like snap out and reveal that it's an award show. And it kind of really loved the concept because it kind of hit that kind of performative thing. Like, it feels very stilted, and like this whole thing is kind of a performance in kind of an eerie way that it kind of reflects what the song is about, I guess.
Absolutely. Okay, so let's talk about the break that you chose to take after putting out Sour. You took those 6 months to live, discover, explore more things about yourself as you're growing up as well. But can you tell us why that was so important for you to be able to do that, to come back and write?
Yeah, I mean, I think there's so much happened with Driver's License and Sour and, going on my first tour. It was all so exciting, but very overwhelming too. And I think I needed a little bit of time to kind of process everything that had happened. And, beyond that, I was, I wrote this album when I was 19, and there's just so much that happens when you're 19, so much growth. And I learned so much about myself and made so many mistakes and new friends, and, all of this it's just normal learning and growing that happens when you're that age.
Right. Absolutely. Okay. So September 8th is going to be a huge day for all of your fans, for everybody, when Guts is coming out. So can you give us a little sneak peek on maybe some new themes or topics or stories that you'll be telling us?
Yeah. It's definitely some new themes that I'm touching on. I wouldn't say it's a breakup album like Sour was. There's definitely some new topics being introduced. I also think it's a lot more fun than Sour was. I'm definitely a happier girl now, and I think it's a little tongue-in-cheek and a little like funny and witty. At least that's what I tried to do.
Yes, I love that. We can't wait. Okay, so in a recent interview with Billboard, I love that you said this. You said in the writing process for this album, you had to shift your perspective into making music that you felt like that's what I would want to hear on the radio. And of course, as a radio girl, we loved that. So can you just tell me like what your thought process was and how you wanted it to feel on that receiving end, being that kid in the car?
Yeah, I think that's a really important mindset that I had to get in. I think after, the success of Sour and Driver's License and everything, everything kind of felt a little daunting. And I found myself trying to write songs that were like, oh, this has to like be like Driver's License, or this has to be like good for you because that's what people liked. And I think that's just not a very creative, conducive mind state to be in. And so as soon as I shifted my perspective towards that, everything became a lot easier and definitely a lot more fun. And so I got my radio girls in mind.
We love that. Okay, so I know that you just got the keys to your new spot in Greenwich Village. How has living in New York kind of helped your you step into your artist persona even more, or even just your point of view, just being, somebody who's observant as a songwriter, observant and watching people and culture and things like that. How has that kind of helped you embody this new persona? Not new persona, but just continuing to grow up.
Yeah, I mean, we made actually a lot of the record, probably about half at Electric Lady Studios, in West Village or Greenwich Village, somewhere over there. And it was so awesome. I think New York is just a very inspiring city, and There are so many awesome artists who have actually worked in that studio or who have made stuff in New York. And yeah, I just love it. I love walking around. It's oddly very inspiring.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so like many of us, a lot of our first musical impressions come from riding backseat with our mom or backseat with our
Yeah.
parents. And I love knowing that, you know, you listen to a lot of alt rock, cool different bands that your parents put you on. Now that you have met and performed with so many of these idols over the past couple of years, what advice has stuck with you from them about freedom of expression, your identity, the pressure of kind of being a channel to be the voice of a generation, and just musical integrity? What have those OGs told you, like, Olivia, keep this close to heart?
Yeah. Um, One of my biggest heroes is Jack White. He's you know, in the White Stripes and the Raconteurs and all of these amazing bands. And I had the chance to meet him a year ago maybe, but I've kind of talked to him since, and he's really awesome. And he wrote me a letter the first time that we met, giving me like 3 tips. And one of them was actually just make the music that you want to hear on the radio, and that helped me so much. One of them was to be an antenna for which music can come through, and that's super helpful. And the third was to like hold tight to all of your friendships and all of your relationships, because it can kind of get easy to maybe neglect those or be so focused on your work that those kind of fall through the cracks. And he was just saying how important that was. And it sounds very simple, but it really like means so much, and they're kind of things that I really live by.
Absolutely. Okay, so tell us about the creativity that we can expect coming on this upcoming tour, and what are you excited to bring to the stage? What was something that maybe last time around you learned through your experiences and you're like, okay, this time going in, we're gonna attack it from this angle?
Yeah, I mean, I actually think that I made this record differently than I made the last record because of all of the knowledge that I had gained being on tour. And, you know, watching those songs be sung by a crowd every night, you know, they kind of take on a whole new life. And I think I had definitely had that in mind making this record. And so I think this record is going to be really fun to play live. There's a lot of really upbeat songs. There's a lot of like rockin' driving songs. And so I think it's going to be really, really fun. I'm excited. You have to come.
Absolutely. I'm going to be there singing everywhere, girl. Well, thank you so much, Olivia, for joining us. We can't wait to share this with Atlanta, and I wish you the best. Wish you the best in all you do.
Thank you. Thank you. It was so nice meeting you and
Thank
talking
you.
to you.
So nice to meet you as well.